Hello and welcome to Back to the Frame Rate, part of the Weston Media Podcast Network. Back to the Frame Rate, where we watch and discuss films on VOD and streaming platforms for your entertainment. I am your host, Nathan Shore, and alongside me are my fantastic movie mavens, Brianna Butterworth, Ellie Escobar, and Sam Cole. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
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 Well, welcome back, everyone. And I think tonight's going to be a really fun episode. We have our 2024 movie forecast. It's been a year. This is sort of an anniversary episode for us because about a year ago we did this for 2023. How exciting.
I can't believe it's been a year. How time flies.
I know. And,
Indeed.
I had the intention actually of trying to find a couple clips from that episode, but I realized that is such a sad recording. I didn't even want to go down that path. Let's do better this year.
Yeah, we can always improve. I hadn't heard that recording in a while, but now that you said it sounds terrible, my first instinct is to go and listen to it and laugh.
Yeah, all of our recording settings were bad. Microphones weren't working, and I had like an auto leveler on my microphone. So every time I wasn't speaking, the room noise raised up. So it just sounded terrible.
I had forgotten that completely until you mentioned it, and I guess my mind or memory had blacked it out on purpose. And I was like, oh, now I remember that. Yeah, the audio issues. Yeah.
It was a nightmare. But you know what? Episode number 1 is never something that probably should ever be listened to of any show. That's why they call it like a pilot episode. I mean, that's a lot of times you bank a bunch of episodes just as a test run, and you probably never should put those out there. But anyways, it was fun to do. Funny thing is, it's one of our most popular episodes still. People still go back and listen to that because I think there are some completists out there that need to hear every episode of Back to the Frame Rate, and I feel sorry for them. But
It's the flagship episode. It's the beginning of it all. The genesis, just like Star Trek 2. Yeah, might as well start the Star Trek references early in 2024 because why not?
Why not? Exactly. So what we're doing here tonight is we're going to, like I said, we're going to do our 2024 most anticipated films of the year. And just like last year, we're going to list about 10 movies that are on the calendar. And what I was trying to emphasize is that, of course, there are movies that are coming out, with the SAG strikes and the writer strikes. So much changed this in 2024, as we've already talked about. Things were on the calendar and they got moved. Movies didn't go into production that they were supposed to, that were on the calendar. They got moved. So, don't hold us to this. The dates of these movies change all the time. A movie that was on my list a week ago, which is one of my most anticipated movies of the year, just got taken off, and I don't know what to do now. So I am really, really a little perplexed on this. I feel like I might just keep it on there just for the hopes that it will stay. It will somehow show up sometime in 2024. Otherwise, I guess it'll be on my forecast for 2025. We'll see. I'm curious if anybody else has the same movie on their list. But let's get to it. So how we're going to do this, each one of us is just going to mention one of the movies that is on their list. No particular order for these. We're just going to mention them and then maybe just explain, why they're looking forward to it. And we'll have a mini discussion and then we'll just kind of keep going around the room, around the table until we mention all the movies that that's on our list. So let's begin right now. I love just throwing Sam into the mix. So Sam, tell me one of the 10 movies that you're most excited for 2024.
So any one of the 10, anywhere on the list.
Anywhere in the list, because at the end of this, just to spoil a little bit, we are going to also mention what is going to be our most favorite movie of 2024. So just any random movie.
Well, one of the 10 would definitely be Beetlejuice 2, unless that's the one that got moved. I hope not. It's still coming out in 2024, right?
No, I think Beetlejuice 2 is definitely still on the calendar. And
excellent.
I know it's September 6th because it's also on my list.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. Yeah,
Also on my list, by the way.
Yeah. Good Taste Club.
I'm looking forward to it. I wouldn't say it's not it's not my most anticipated movie of the year, but I just love the fact that they're making another one and like all the same talent is back and Tim Burton's back. It just feels right. It's like a family coming back together, and you're like, oh, I got to see this.
I as well am looking forward to this. Although I will say I am cautiously optimistic just because of all the delays for it, but I can't help it. I mean, there's so much of the original cast that is coming back. You got Catherine O'Hara
Mhm.
that's in this, but you've got Jenna Ortega in this, Winona Ryder, Willem Dafoe is in this too. I mean, he seems like a perfect
Yeah.
actor to be in this movie as well.
He'll fit right
So,
into that universe. Yeah.
and when was the last time Tim Burton's done something like this for a while? I have not enjoyed. I'll be honest. I love Tim Burton, but it's been a long time since I've been excited for a Tim Burton movie. So this,
Mm.
that's why I'm cautious. So,
I know
but
this was
yes,
back in like 2010, but I actually, and I think it was poorly reviewed, but I actually did like Alice in Wonderland. I thought it was pretty entertaining, like visually.
mm,
I mean, the 3D, like I enjoyed it. Crispin Glover as a villain, like it was just that felt like an interesting Tim Burton movie to me. But I mean, yeah, it's obviously it was a while ago.
My favorite Tim Burton movie is Big Fish, which I think makes me like the most outsider person. So you're welcome to your Alice in Wonderland opinions. You're saying,
I saw
I
Big
love
Fish. I
Big
like
Fish
Big
too.
Fish. Saw that in the
yeah,
theater.
yeah,
Was
Big
that
Fish might be
2004? Was it? Sorry.
around there.
Yeah.
it's around there.
Big Fish was probably my last Tim Burton movie that I truly loved.
Hmm.
Yeah. By the way, I think I was mistaken. Did I say that Beetlejuice was on my list? It's actually one of my honorable mentions, so it's not on my list. That's I think why, because I'm kind of like, oh, yeah, I hope it's great, but I'm so nervous about it.
Mm.
Okay,
I like the idea of coming back to an era that is so far behind, but I feel like it's gonna bring me back there. So I'm looking forward to it.
yeah.
Hell yes.
I feel like it can use CGI well, like in the with ghostly world stuff. Like if it still maintains the creative heart as the first one, it could be visually more out there, which I always look forward to, especially from
Mm.
Tim Burton.
Hmm.
Okay, so B, give me one of
Mm.
yours.
This Valentine's Day is the Bob Marley biopic, and
Yeah.
I'm kind of
Nice.
looking forward to that. It'll be like at its worst, I think it'll be a great jam session, and then at its best, I hope they do a great job with it. So, some date night idea,
Yeah,
folks.
I
Heard it
actually
here
have that on my
first.
list as well.
All
Yeah,
right.
I
we should go
haven't
see it,
seen that.
Ellie.
Yeah, I love it. It's just
Yeah.
alone, just for the music, even it's worth it.
Right, right. I bet, like, if my theater's not singing, I'm walking out. Like, it's gotta be good. There's some concert season there. They look good. Mhm.
I'm gonna hold out. I'm waiting for Ellie and B's opinions on this because I am, again, cautious about it. Music biopics, I have not seen a great one in a long time, but let me know
Mm.
how it goes.
Mm.
Because if you love it, let me know. I'll rush out to see it.
The
Um,
Yeah,
trailer
fair.
looks great, so it caught my attention.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
I'm with you.
Ellie, give me one that you're looking forward to.
Civil War.
Yes.
Yes, that's on my
Mm.
list as well. Civil War,
Yeah, Civil War, just
a
because of everything else.
firecracker of a motion picture. Yeah.
Seriously, I'm like so looking forward to that because just because of everything that's going on in the world right now, and
What's so
especially here in the United States.
What's so scary
Mhm.
though is I hope it's not so like triggering that like people that on CNN at one movie theater somewhere in the US,
Mm,
probably in the
Oh,
middle of it,
no.
not making any judgment, but there's going to be like a fight breaking out in the audience between
Oh
like
goodness.
divided Civil War
Oh.
sides,
Dude,
like
I hope not. I hope not. It's like,
I, I I hope not as well, but I'm just saying it like I'm if the movie is good, then like it might stir up emotions. That's what worries me a little bit, but we'll see.
Mm.
Civil
I
War.
knew nothing about it and I saw the trailer and it gripped me. I was like,
yeah,
wow,
me too.
this could be intense.
Yeah. I was
It
like,
has the
I was,
cra it has the
yeah,
craziest cast.
It
it
Craziest
does.
Civil,
does.
Civil War is on my list. So, if anyone isn't aware, this it takes place in the near future. A team of journalists travel across the United States during a rapidly escalating civil war that has engulfed the entire nation. That's a brief synopsis of this. But it's Alex Garland, who is one of my top 4 or 5 favorite filmmakers today, directed this. It's from A24. It comes out April 26th, a couple months from now. This movie actually, it's on my list, but scares the hell out of me. What, it's being an election year right now. This
Mhm.
I am more than any movie coming out this year. I'm really, this movie is getting under my skin a little bit.
That's the thing. It's like, that's what I mean. It's like a powder keg of a film. It makes, that's what I'm saying. Like it's like it could be good, but it's also a little worrisome. Like, oh man, I hope this doesn't hit too close to home. Like,
I know, I know.
But you hope, but you know how it is with
yeah,
movies and
and
people.
it will too. Like that's the movie is like it's probably that will do well. I predict box office
Yeah,
wise,
yeah,
Mhm.
I think so. I think it's
So,
unless it comes out and gets like terrible reviews and is terrible, then it will have a big opening weekend and drop. But I don't foresee that.
so I'm going to randomly mention one of mine. I will say it's going to be Drive Away Dolls, which comes out February 23rd. This is from Ethan Cohen. And Ethan Cohen, it's him solo. It's not with his brother, but this is the first time he's actually directed something, a live action film, I think, since when he did Hail Caesar, because Ballad of Bus. Wait, was Ballad of Buster Scruggs both the
I
Coen
think that
brothers?
was both the Coen brothers.
Okay, but first
Yeah.
theatrical movie since Hail Caesar. That's what I meant to say. So, because that went straight to Netflix. But seeing the Coen
Mhm.
brothers in the movie, in or one of the Coens in the theater, has not happened in a while, especially Ethan Coen. So this film follows Jamie, an uninhibited free spirit, bemoaning yet another breakup with a girlfriend, and her demure friend Marianne, who desperately needs to loosen up. In search of a fresh start, the two embark on an impromptu road trip to Tallahassee, but things quickly go awry when they cross paths with a group of inept criminals along the way. And this has Matt Damon, Pedro Pascal, Margaret Qualley, Coleman Domingo. I think Coleman Domingo was, I just saw him in what's the Rustin movie, which I thought was
Yeah.
pretty good, decent. But
I saw
yeah,
him at I saw him at CVS the other day. Actually, I was like, "What's up?"
but yeah, this is of course an action comedy thriller. I really looking forward to this one. So Drive Away
Yeah.
Dolls,
That's on my list too, Nate.
I did
great.
not even know of the existence of that film, and it sounds incredible. It would have been on my list if I knew about it, but I didn't do my research well enough.
yeah, yeah.
Woulda, shoulda, coulda. That's not the right words for the beginning of a new year. So I'm going to change that attitude and think positive.
All right,
I
so
only heard about it because I saw a trailer when I was looking up like movies that were coming out this year. It didn't even pop up
only a
under the
month
radar.
Yeah,
away.
interesting.
Only a
Huh.
month away. Yeah. All right, we're back to Sam. So you've already mentioned Beetlejuice is on your list and Civil War is on your list. So hit us up with another one.
Okay, so another movie that is definitely on my list, as I am always interested in this franchise. I believe it doesn't have a title, and I'm not sure if it's theatrical or not, but it's an untitled Alien movie, as in Alien Aliens Project, and it's
Oh.
directed by
It's Fede Alvarez.
Fede Alvarez. That's right, and
Yeah, this is on my list as well. I think
heard good things, yeah, but
I think
don't
it's
know much about it.
I think it's tentatively titled Alien Romulus, but I know that's probably temporary.
Hmm.
That's right. See, I remember hearing about that, and then when I saw this article that I was reading, it said untitled, so I don't know if they can change it. But Alien Romulus, that's what I think it is. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and this is
No,
the
that could be. It
first.
could be good. Yeah.
Yeah, this is also on my list. This is the first Alien movie under 20th Century Studios, Disney owned studio now. So I am again cautiously, very cautiously optimistic what they're going to do with this franchise. And it's set after the events of Alien Covenant, is what I've heard, but I don't really know. This might be a complete side quest to Alien. I don't know. They're keeping the whole plot under wraps.
Yeah.
That would
But
be cool if it had a connection in any way to Alien Covenant, because then in my geek mind, Prometheus, Alien Covenant, and Alien Romulus would form an indirect trilogy. And I'm all about the trilogies.
yes, I hear you. And this has a relatively, I don't know much about the cast in this. I saw some of the names in this, but nobody jumped out at me. But Fede Alvarez is a director who I have nothing against. He did The Girl in the Spider's Web, which I did not see, but he did Don't Breathe, kind of a suspense film from a couple years ago, which I thought was pretty good. And he did the Evil Dead movie from 2013, which I thought was decent
Hmm.
reimagining of it. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Again, it's on my list, so we'll see. Because I'm a sucker for anything alien.
Yeah, me too. And there was that I did read an article. I can't remember exactly where it was from, but it was Ridley Scott apparently knows the full story, and when he saw the director of the footage, he was quoted as saying like, "Wow, this is effing brilliant" or something like that. So I don't know if it's a good positive endorsement. I hope it's an awesome alien movie and a good visual experience as well. I guess we'll find out this August.
Yeah, yeah, that's August 16th is the date for that.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right, B. Hit us up with another one.
Has anyone here heard of the Book of Clarence? It came out 3 days ago, and I got to get to it.
The Book of Clarence. No, what is that about?
The Book of Clarence. So it is directed by the Bullets, who did The Harder They Fall in 2021. And it stars Lakeith Stanfield. And it's about a down his luck man struggling to find a better life for his family while fighting to free himself of debt. He's captivated by the power and the glory of the rising Messiah and risks everything to carve his own path to a divine life, ultimately discovering the redemptive power of belief might be his only way out. I love Lakeith Stanfield. I'm interested in what the Bullet does. I just got to see it. I'm so curious about it. I think it could be really good. And it seems weird. And I'm into anything that seems a little bit not mainstream. So let's give it a shot.
And this is
Next
directed
weekend.
by the Bullets, which
Mhm.
I am unfamiliar.
Yep, did The Harder They Fall. He is a
Oh.
singer-songwriter and a music producer. I've heard of him like through Jay-Z, I think, but he's making it onto the movie scene these last few years, so that's exciting.
Okay, I know about The Harder They Fall. I missed that one, but interesting.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
that's on
you.
my
This
list as well.
it
B.
is. All right.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
think wow. Okay, I'm so glad you're bringing this up. All right.
Yep.
Book
it's
of Clarence.
cool.
Yep. I'm having.
Mm,
I'm hoping to see it this week as well. So because it's already out, but
yeah, let me know how it is. I don't think I'll
yeah,
make it until the weekend. Let me know.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Ellie, we're up to you. Give me one on your list.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes comes out May 24th. Because I first of all, I spent a whole week watching all of the Planet of the Apes movies last year, just rewatching some of them. I love everything Planet of the Apes, and so I'm looking forward to watching this one. I'm so excited about it. When I first saw the trailer in the movies, I was like, I was like next to Carlos, and I'm like, oh my god, Carlos! And Carlos is like, oh yeah, that should be one of your, that might be one of my year resolutions, not to talk in the theater.
Mm.
But yeah, so I'm so looking forward to this movie. So
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, they're pushing this trailer a lot right now. So I will probably see this. It didn't make my list, but Wes Ball is the director for this. It comes out May 24th. He did the Maze Runner films, which I never saw any of them. I don't know. Has anyone seen those?
I've
Yeah, they're
seen
fine.
scenes from them, and I've enjoyed the scenes, but I've never seen the whole movie. I've like bumped into it on HBO.
what?
I've
Which
considered the Maze Runner movies.
uh,
Who
there's
did those? I've considered like a weekend where I catch up on all the Maze Runner movies, but haven't. Yeah, I think there's two or three of them. I forget. I don't know, but
I think there's
they
three.
look
There's like I
interesting.
know the Scorch Trials is one of them, but I'm not sure which one that
I think
is.
it's one of those franchises that got abandoned because they underperformed in the theater, so they never completed their story. I think I could be
There's
Yeah,
wrong.
there seemed to be this like generation of movies that was just like teens face dystopia, teens face the
Oh yeah,
apocalypse.
it was definitely
It was one of those. I think
yeah.
we were kind of saturated by the time
The
Maze Runner came out.
Divergent, Allegiant movies was another one of them.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yep.
never saw those either.
Yeah, the Hunger Games gave us a lot to think about.
Yeah. All right, I think we're up to me. I'm going to mention one. I'm just going to mention, obviously, probably one that's on all of our lists. I mean, Furiosa is one of the
Yes.
biggest ones
Here, here.
that's coming out.
That's my penultimate one.
Furiosa is my number one as well.
That comes out May 24th, directed by George Miller. We got Anya Taylor-Joy, Chris Hemsworth, Tom Burke is in this. I don't think I have to say much about this. I think the whole world is looking forward to this. The trailer looks amazing.
I'll
So,
say like what I'm really excited about is the possible story structure of it, because from what I've heard, like, Fury Road was so awesome, but it was essentially like one big long chase, whereas this movie will obviously have a lot of vehicular action, but it takes place over, it's a saga, so it takes place over a longer span of time. So she's like captured as a girl, then it's her life and she escapes. So at its best, I feel like this movie could be like a Mad Max epic and a
yeah.
truly worthy sequel if it succeeds. So if it's awesome, it could be awesome. The trailer looked amazing, the performances looked amazing. I feel like Chris Hemsworth will be a notable psychotic villain that just sounds brilliant. So
Yeah.
hopes are high. Yeah.
You mentioned something. That's when I talk to people about Fury Road, most people love it, but the biggest complaint I hear about it is that nothing happens. Like it's just a chase movie that goes on and on and on. And if you're not into that, you're not going to like the movie. If you're not, because it's in some ways I can see why people complain that it's short on plot because it's so much action in it. I'm not one of those people, but one of
No,
my
no. Yeah,
the
I love the
complaint the
chase.
complaint the
Yeah.
complaint I do hear from people is that it's just one thing happening in this movie, and I do hope that Furiosa isn't just the same thing again, that there is maybe more of an adventure aspect to it, possibly. If it isn't, if it's just more, big cars running through the desert, I'm fine with that too.
Well, hopefully it'll be that, and like it'll be the car
Yeah,
epic action, but like a coming of age
yeah,
epic, because
yeah,
she's trying to find her
yeah.
family, and like
Yes,
it's
yeah.
a rough
Mm.
road. Yeah.
But
Arguably, Fury Road had more plot than the original Mad Max, though. So I don't know.
the
yeah,
the,
look,
admit, the
Mad
original
Max.
Mad Max is so entertaining. It's like
Let me tell you
mayhem.
this. I have to tell you a story about Mad Max. Actually, when I was, the first movie I ever saw was The Road Warrior, and I loved that
Mm.
movie so much when I was young. And then Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome came out. I think it was '85, and it was playing. It was, yeah, '85, and I was on vacation with my parents, and we were in Old Orchard Beach, Maine, and we saw the marquee at the drive-in. This is after, like, weeks after Mad Max Thunder Beyond Thunderdome came out. We saw the marquee there, so they were going to take me to see Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, but it just said Mad Max on the marquee. Come to find out, they weren't showing Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. They were showing Mad Max, the 1979 original movie, which is not the kind of movie that I think a 10-year-old really would enjoy. It is a
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
garish, you know,
Yeah.
like dark film. And I remember as a 10-year-old watching this, like, what the hell is this? This is like not fun.
Mm.
I was expecting like, where's my Tina Turner and like cars and crazy car chases and stuff. And it was like this, like families are getting run down, and like this is the most depressing movie ever.
And it's like mayhem, like anarchic violence with like crazy, colorful, wacky characters, and like, you know,
Yeah. And I just remember
I don't
like
understand. There's like a fetish with like the police chief or something, where it's like one of the characters is like wearing leather and has like no shirt, like a backless shirt, and you're like, what? You're like, why?
Just full
Like,
Judas
yeah,
Priest mode.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah.
and it
Yeah.
wasn't, I don't think it was until about 40 minutes into the movie where we kind of figured out that this was not the new Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome movie. This is the 1979 original, but it was kind of funny that I saw that in that order.
So
I wasn't
I
this movie didn't make my list. I'm not a fan of Mad Max sagas at all,
mm,
so it didn't make my list at all. I don't, it's.
that's
I know you
fair.
guys are all excited about it. I'm like, I think I've seen the one with the first Mad Max I ever saw was, what's his name, with
Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson, where the baby gets run over or something like that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
That's
Yeah,
I'm
that's
talking
Mad
about
Max.
the
Yeah,
only
79. Yeah.
one I
it's a
saw, and I
dark
actually
film.
liked it. But then I really liked that movie. But then after that, Tina Turner, I was just like, I don't like this movie. And then the ones after that, except for Charlize Theron movie because I like her, but even that I was like, eh. It's
Mhm.
yeah, I'm not a fan of this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think there are movies that, like, don't really form a connection for a lot of people. I
Yeah,
think you're probably, like, in a majority here.
yeah, just doesn't
Yeah.
do
It's
anything for
okay.
me.
Yeah, yeah,
You're
that's
not
right.
alone, Ellie. I took my wife to see Mad Max Fury Road. She hated the movie so much. Hated it. Hated it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's, oh my god.
I mean, I'll go see it because Carlos will want to go see it, and he has to
Yeah.
see my film, so I have to. That's the deal. Even
Yeah.
if you don't like my film, you still have to come and see it with me. And
I saw it.
so,
I saw it with my dad, and he liked it. Like he likes action, but I can tell that the world of like Mad Max, its weird, gritty, creepy, like gasoline world, is
mm,
much more entertaining to me than my father. I think he likes it, but I think he liked it, but feels kind of a distance from it. Whereas me, I'm like, oh, man. Like I saw the Furiosa trailer, and I became one of those like a fan of like a football team, just like yelling in the stands, like, ah! It just looked awesome. But yeah, I hear you.
they just look like a lot of junkyard cars hitting each other or
Yes.
something. I don't
Yeah,
know. It's like they're
Why
not
couldn't like
And
pretty.
you'd be right. Yeah.
it's just a matter of time before they have the Twisted Metal TV show, but they should make the Twisted Metal movie look like this. That's why. Was Furiosa on anyone else's list besides me and Sam, or just
Mine.
in and
Was
and B? Okay, just
yeah.
all right. So we are up to B. Give us. Wait, no, that was mine. Furiosa. Sam, we're up to you.
okay. By the way, on a brief humorous note, we were talking about Furiosa, and I was for no reason at all was reminded of the first Harry Potter film where Hermione says, "It's not Leviosa, it's Leviosa," and then Ron imitates her, and I was like, "It's not Furiosa, it's Furiosa." Anyway, there's my bit of comedy. So back to
Oh.
back to the list. Definitely highly anticipated on my list is Dune Part Two. Very
Yes,
Dune?
interesting.
Dune.
Dune.
I'm never gonna live that down, huh?
Nope.
I gotta go back and listen to that episode. I'm sure I'm exaggerated and made it much worse. If I go back and hear it again, it'll just sound normal. But
No,
in my mind's eye at the time, it was great.
I think it does sound just like that.
But Dune 2, yeah, definitely like anticipated. Dennis
Mhm.
Villeneuve has described it as like a lot more of an action film than the first one, and I'm a huge fan of the novel, and I've read it, and so I know what he's talking about. Like I know it's coming, so I can't wait to see how it comes
Mhm.
across visually, directorial wise, acting wise, special effects wise. There is huge desert battle in the
Mm,
story of this movie, and so I just can't wait to see that. It's strange that it's coming out March 1st, which is great, but because it was originally going to be November of last year, but it got moved. So it feels odd to have like a gigantic movie like that come out at the beginning of March, but that's happened before. So it's like, I'm not complaining. I can't wait to see it. And it's coming out soon, like less than 2 months.
yeah, I
Is
it's
Dune? Yeah. Go ahead.
it's on,
Go
it's
ahead,
on my
Ellie.
list too, Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do-
Yep, mine too.
It could
Back
be,
to the
I
frame
mean,
rate party.
back to
Let's
the
go to the
frame rate, part of
movies.
the West End Media Podcast.
And we get Christopher Walken and Dune
Yeah.
as well. Isn't
Mm.
Mhm.
And he
because
It's
looks
it
like
look
intense, serious Christopher Walken, not like winging it Chris Walken. He's like,
I
you can
know.
tell he's like, I'm in Dune, and I'm gonna do my best.
dialed in.
Yeah,
I have to figure out which theater around me has the best sound because I think Dune's gonna need like really good sound.
Mm.
absolutely. Yeah, you need the good like surround sound.
Yeah.
All
I
the
want to hear those
speakers
grains of sand.
functional. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
The thumpers on the sand when they call the worms. It's like,
I'm assuming
you're like,
it's going to be at the IMAX in Providence. You probably won't be here for that, Sam, but
I probably won't, but if I was, I'd be at that IMAX. But there is a really good IMAX in LA that I like. Screen is a little bit smaller than the Providence IMAX, but it's such a quality theater that
yeah,
I like. That's where I'll go
yeah. Well,
if I'm
obviously,
there. I have no idea where I'll be.
Dune 2 is also on my list. So,
See, I
Mhm.
all right.
hope this does well. A quick comment because Denis Villeneuve wants to direct Dune
War.
Messiah, which is the second book, but he would treat it as the
Mm.
end of a trilogy. And if this movie is financially successful and that gets greenlit, that would be awesome because I would love to see what his vision for that would be.
I have a feeling Dune 2 is going to do much more business than the first Dune. Because remember, also Dune was a day and date release when that came
Yes.
out. That came out. That was one of the deals with HBO back when all their movies were coming out on HBO, and like there was a whole bunch of movies, Matrix, that Matrix sequel, that Kong vs Godzilla, a whole bunch of films. They had a deal during it was in COVID, so
Mm.
there's a chance I think this will do much better. Plus the anticipation of this because I think it has a much bigger following it's grown in notoriety over the past couple of years.
Yeah.
I think it's looked at as one of the better sci-fi films in a long time.
Absolutely. Yeah,
People want,
absolutely. And
people
I
want to see how
remember
the
that
story concludes. That's the thing. People want to see how the story concludes. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. And it's like the first film set everything up so well that I
Yeah.
just feel like 2 is going to be like a payoff and then some.
Yeah.
It's just like the vibe I get.
Yeah. All right. So I think we're at B.
Yeah.
Hit us up with another one.
I'm looking forward to the bike riders this June, June
Yes.
21st. I think this is going to be awesome. Jodie Comer, Austin Butler, sort of a motorcycle, looks like a bit of a road movie, turns bit of a gang movie,
Yeah.
turns bit of a
Yep.
drama. It should be cool.
This is on my
Yeah.
list as well. Jeff Nichols, one of my favorite directors, also right
Yeah.
now.
I do not know
That'd be-
much about this movie, but it sounds intriguing.
Tom
Yep.
Hardy's in this. Boyd Holbrook,
Yeah.
who's also one of my favorite actors right now as well. Norman Reedus. Great cast in this. Michael Shannon.
It is.
I can't wait
Yeah.
for this. I cannot
I
wait for
can't.
this one.
It's on my list
June,
too. So
great,
Yeah.
great.
yeah.
Good Taste Club.
That is the Bike Riders.
Yeah.
June
Let me write-
21st.
Looks really great. I can't wait to see that one.
All right. All right. Ellie, we're up to you.
Deadpool 3.
Deadpool 3.
Gotta go see
Mm.
Deadpool 3.
That is also on my list. Woo.
I mean, come on, how can you not go see Deadpool 3? It's Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
it's like one of my favorite superheroes because he's so silly and funny and goofy and
He is, and I'm excited about it because like 2023 was such a bad year for there were some
It
good movies, but
was.
like in general, superhero movies
Superhero.
did not fare well in 2023. And Deadpool, I really like the first one. I remember enjoying the
Redemption.
second.
Redemption.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
first one was really awesome too. Like I
Mm.
just it's a totally different type of superhero though, right? It's like
Mhm.
so unexpected. And I think that
Mhm.
we need a superhero like that in our world right now.
This one is still gonna be. I mean, because I haven't read up on it, but this film will still be rated R, right? Like they're not gonna PG-13ify Deadpool because that would be a bad mistake. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Don't
I think
think
this is
so.
still. I don't think so. And of course, you got the return of Wolverine in this as well, Hugh Jackman. I think that's also gonna to entice a lot of people to come out and
Mhm.
see this. So I think that a lot of people cannot wait for this.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Great
Yeah.
pick. I'm also really looking forward to this.
Yeah,
That's
good
like I said last week. That's on my birthday weekend. I will be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When does
All
that
right.
come out? July? Is it?
July 26th.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom's
All
birthday is
right.
July 25th.
Oh, my dad's birthday is
Oh.
July 26th. How about that?
All right. So I think we're up
My
to me.
goodness.
I'm going to
We're
mention the
not so
movie.
far apart. Mil novecento noventa. Sorry.
So I'm going to mention the movie that I'm nervous about that may be moved off of 2024, but I'm going to gamble that it's going to find a home somewhere. And that is Mickey 17, which is directed by
Yes.
Bong Joon-ho.
That's up too. It
and
got
I think-
kicked off?
Yeah, it was supposed to come out March 29th.
Yeah.
And I mean, this movie is basically done, and I don't know what's going on, but for some reason, this movie was taken off the calendar. And because the movie is basically done, I feel like they're just kind of jockeying for position somehow. I don't know. Maybe there's special effects that aren't finished or something. I don't know. They're really holding their cards close to the vest why it's been moved.
Mm.
But
Is there something else coming out that weekend? Like, is Godzilla Kong or something big? I think I read that was that weekend.
Speaking of big weekends, when we were just
Um,
talking, I just totally random comment, but I just realized that
Ghostbusters is that weekend.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes and Furiosa open the same weekend. They will be competing over Memorial Day. That could be a money weekend right there.
But I don't feel
Yeah,
like
but
a Bong Joon-ho movie is gonna compete with Ghostbusters, so I don't know. But anyways, this movie, we got Robert Pattinson, Toni Collette, Mark Ruffalo, Steven Yeun. I mean, in the plot, because I don't think a lot of people maybe know everything about this, but an expendable person is sent on the most dangerous, even suicidal jobs. When an expendable dies, a new body is regenerated with most of the memories intact. Essentially, Mickey 7, I think I wrote this right here, is the seventh iteration of an expendable who is undergoing an existential identity crisis while trying to keep his successors' regeneration a secret and negotiating with the planet's native species on a dangerous trip to colonize a new ice world. So I'm there.
yeah,
Cool.
I'm
yeah,
so hyped for Mickey 17.
yeah.
So
Sounds
Mickey 17.
awesome.
I just hope it is comes out sometime this year. That's all I know.
It will.
And
It
and
has
if it
to.
doesn't, it'll be on my list for 2025. Is this on? It sounds like B. This is on your list.
Yeah. Hell
Anyone
yeah.
else's list?
It was on my list, and then it's honorable mention because I had to
Mhm.
go
Okay.
between that one and the other one, so I went with the other one.
Okay.
Got bumped.
All right. So we are back to Samwise.
So, out of sheer curiosity, and I'm just, because I really enjoyed the first one. This is a very indirect
Oh, I bet
sequel.
you this is mine.
Yeah.
It's Twisters. That's the one I picked.
No,
Nope.
I didn't think so.
no,
Yeah,
no, no.
I had a
Nope.
feeling I'd be on my own here, but that's what I'm talking about.
I thought you were
Uh,
gonna say something else.
whatever you thought I was going to say, that might be on my list. We'll find out. But Twisters is a sequel to
I hadn't
Twister,
even heard of
1996,
Twisters.
and I just love being terrified by tornadoes, and I really enjoyed the first movie. I have no idea what this film will be like, if the spirit of it will be good, if it'll be total schlock, but I am intrigued. And it comes out July 19th, and Twisters. Yeah, we'll see what's up with that.
You know what's interesting is it's directed by Lee Isaac Chung, who
Yes.
only a
Mhm.
few years ago directed Minari, which was it's just an interesting selection for him to be tapped for this film. But I'm interested.
Yeah, like I'm
Mhm.
I'm
curious.
not I don't know. You're on a mission, Sam, to go out and see what this is about and report back.
I did the same thing with, Independence Day Resurgence, and it was
Yeah,
very hurtful and painful, but I still went. So I'm gonna go see Twisters and support my
I feel
28-year-old favorite film.
feel like this could be the 65 of this year.
God, I
We're-
hope not. Oh,
we'll see.
That's funny. Oh no.
All right, B. What do you got?
My cautiously optimistic sequel, Gladiator 2.
Hmm.
oh, right. I forgot
Yeah.
about that. That should have been on my list.
That's what I thought you were gonna say.
You know what that is? That just knocked off a movie you shall not know. It's
Not
Gladiator
not
2.
not
Gladiator,
Twisters. Twister
not
still has to stay.
Twisters still remains. This was a movie that I had not discussed yet.
Okay.
Gladiator 2 takes it over because I missed Napoleon in the theater. I saw some of it late night on my flat screen TV. It was highly entertaining, but I want to see it on a big screen, but it's only playing in one theater in Boston on Tremont Street. Don't want to go over there parking lot anyway. Yeah, interested in Gladiator 2. Sorry to go on
Yeah.
a tangent
I am
there.
too.
No.
It's an honorable mention for me.
I mean, it's Ridley Scott, you know?
Mm.
Yeah, a true visualist.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Ellie, hit us up with something.
Ballerina.
Ballerina.
Yep. It's Len Wiseman is the director, and it's a spin-off, I think, from the John Wick saga, and I think Keanu's gonna make an appearance in that film. Ana de Armas, which is one of my favorite actresses right now, and yeah, it's just it's about a young female assassin seeking revenge against the people who killed her family. So it's gonna be great. I just know it
This looks
because Ana de
awesome.
Armas
Well, because
did
Len
well.
Wiseman
Huh?
Len
What scares
Wiseman
me.
did
What scares me that Len Wiseman's directing this.
he did
Why?
Live Free or Die Hard
Uh,
wasn't terrible, wasn't bad. I enjoyed it.
wasn't too bad.
He did the Total Recall sequel,
I did
and he
not
did
see that.
did
Yeah.
a lot of underworld movies.
Mm,
This, he's well, I mean, I don't begrudge you for looking forward to this. What I'm not here to be negative on anything, and I sometimes am a little overly negative
You're
on
like,
other
I'm not
people's
here to be
projects.
negative, but F this movie, yo. Sorry.
No, I am looking forward to because of course, we all had, I think, a lot of appreciation for John Wick 4. I feel like
Mhm.
this is going to be a major come down from this, especially since I really, really disliked the Continental, and I have a very sour taste from mouth from that. And I
I
feel
remember
like,
your review of the Continental. Yeah.
and
Very lukewarm.
and
Yeah.
and I just felt like it was. I'm
I
just
like
willing.
the Continental, okay? So I don't know what you're talking about, but Ballerina, it's simply because Keanu and Anna the Armas are going to be in that movie. I'm there. I
Yeah,
I didn't really care about like Len Wiseman directing, but hopefully the actors will carry the movie.
I hope it's great. I really do hope it's great. I
It's
hope it
gonna be.
spawns a whole nother franchise that the John Wick universe goes on, and this is an amazing movie. I don't want it to be bad. I want it to be awesome. So yeah,
Look, we're getting less and less original IP these days. At least make the regurgitations fun. You know, this looks like it could be fun. Ian McShane's
Yeah.
in it. I'm excited for that. I
yeah,
hadn't heard about it until just now. I was googling it.
and I think it will be the final send off for. I'm sorry, the actor that we did lose. I feel awful that I'm
Oh yeah, that's
dropping.
his name. What's his name? Uh,
This is the kind of thing that I should have at the top. Lance Reddick. Sorry,
yeah.
Mhm.
I just remember. So, anyways, but yes, he is in this as well. So, anyways, I hope it honors him pretty well in this movie. So
Norman
yeah, I mean,
Reedus,
I think
Norman
that'll,
Reedus
I
is
think
in there too.
yeah. So
Yeah, and I love
like I said,
Norman. So
I
yeah.
I hope it is a very good film. I do. All right. I think I have a pick coming up here, and I think what haven't I mentioned yet? So this is one that I bet it's gonna be on no one else's list. I want to say I'm really looking forward to Horizon, an American saga. This is actually a two for pick because Kevin Costner is doing two movies this year, which is a part one and a part two called Horizon American Saga, part one and part two. It's this epic Western. And I do love modern westerns, especially when they're done on a grand scale, grand budget. And this is the first time he's directed anything in ages. The last time he tried to do something like this, it was The Postman and was terrible. But this guy also did Dances with Wolves, and I do think Waterworld is very underrated. But this
Agreed.
has
I
Perfect.
enjoy Waterworld. I enjoy Waterworld. Yeah.
Oh,
so
I'm so glad I'm on a pro Waterworld pod.
And this has got Sam Worthington in it, Sienna Miller, Kevin Costner is in this, Luke Wilson, Abby Lee, Tom Payne. This explores the lure of the Old West and how it was won and lost through blood, sweat, and tears of many, spanning 4 years of the Civil War from 1861 to 1865. Costner's ambitious cinematic adventure will take audiences on an emotional journey across a country at war with itself, experienced through the lens of families, friends, and foes, attempting to discover what it truly means to be the United States of America. So this feels like his grand vision. This is the project that he left, which is the big show that's on TV right now that I
Oh
don't watch.
God, yeah. I know what you're
Um,
talking about. My brain. Oh man, Yellowstone. No.
yes. So obviously
Yeah.
he's been the star of Yellowstone for years. This is the project that he left Yellowstone to create. This has been, I feel like, his big magnum opus that he's been working for this has been his vision for a long time. So when someone's going to make this giant Western, two-part Western, coming out June 28th and August 16th, I am extremely curious. And I do think that Kevin Costner is a fine director that has a strong vision, and I am on board for this. So, yeah,
Oh yeah.
So there's two
that's
parts, and wait, so there's two films that are both coming out the same year.
yes, June
Interesting.
28th and August 16th, like two feature-length films coming out this year.
Wow. I hope it's
Uh,
good. I hope there's like memorable characters. The palette sounds so big. It's like I hope it's
yeah.
not like just a montage. You know what I mean? Like I hope it
Oh, I don't think
focuses in.
I think this is just a gigantic sweeping epic about the Civil War, which it feels like a kind of like a Ridley Scott type of thing, you know.
That
And
is
this
fascinating.
this is
Yeah.
why, and I think Kevin Costner is a guy that can tell the story.
That's
For some reason,
interesting that the
I
two
feel like,
parts come out so close to each other. Like it's unique. Like usually it's like I remember Clint Eastwood had the like letters from Iwo Jima
with
and
Flags of Our
flags of our
Fathers,
fathers,
yeah,
and those were like further months apart. Like that's
mm,
an interesting strategy
yeah,
there.
yeah. Okay, we are back to Sam.
All right, so let me see. So one that made the list because I am interested, though not over the moon on, is A Quiet Place Day One. I really like the first two. This is not going to be directed by John Krasinski, but one thing I wanted to say is so this goes back to when the aliens first arrived, and so I just feel like it can really tell that story really well and can be exciting and well done. I am looking forward to it. Ultimately, I think I would have preferred A Quiet Place Part 3 that took place after the second film and like concluded an arc, like did a trilogy.
Yeah,
So for this film to just jump back in a different direction before two linear stories, I would have preferred one more story in the same like trajectory. That being said though, I will go to this movie with an open mind and hopefully it'll be good. But looking forward to it.
I agree with everything you just said. I would have also liked that third movie, but this is on my honorable mentions list for the same reasons.
Oh, nice.
I'm also looking forward to it. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep. All
Mhm.
right. B. I think you have maybe one more
I
to
have
mention
one
if my
more.
math is right.
Your math is right. So this is
Okay.
my like I'm so excited for this movie. And we don't get it until the end of the year, until December, but it's going to be amazing. Is the new animated Lord of the Rings, The War of the Roarhead.
Mm-hmm.
I am
Yes.
so amped. I'm so excited. Miranda Otto's coming back. She's reprising her role. It's a story based on the appendices that Tolkien wrote in Lord of the Rings. So I think a lot of people who aren't familiar with other parts of the story are going to get to learn about it and be part of that world. I was not a huge fan of the Hobbit trilogy. I thought it was a really, really not great use of CGI in a lot of places. So I'm kind of excited to see the animated approach. So we have kind of the very practical effects heavy original trilogy, the CGI Hobbit, and now something animated I think will be really fun. I can't wait. Yeah.
And it was so
But I have to wait.
Miranda Otto's coming back as Eowyn.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I
I
know.
am excited too, and I wish the movie well, and I want to see it. I hope it does well, just because Warner Brothers is planning on making more Middle Earth movies, and
Yeah.
so this one is their first, so it feels like the flagship kind of test, and I hope
Mm-hmm.
it does well because I'm always down to go to Middle Earth if there's a
Million
well told
percent.
stories with characters there. So like, yeah, count me in
Mm.
to that. Yeah.
Million percent. I'm a little cool on Rings of Power, but I watch it anyway just because, like, I'm in Middle Earth, you
I
know? So
like Rings
that's
Yeah.
of Power, and it's not great, but it's really like there's some spectacular moments. I won't go into this now, but the whole issue with like what they have the rights to, like in terms of
yo,
the
yeah.
Tolkien estate, they can only get parts of the thing, and so I read a whole thing about that, find it really frustrating. But that's like a whole other topic. But yeah, the show is I'm looking forward to season 2. Let's say that, which comes out this
Yeah.
year, I think.
Does it? I
It's gonna
was
be
trying
so
to find
much.
information
I
on that.
thought it did. I heard it did, but I wouldn't have been surprised if it was 2025, but I heard it was coming out this fall.
Okay.
I
Oh,
could
I
be
don't.
wrong on that,
Yeah, I
but
wasn't
I'll
sure. I
see
wasn't
it.
sure they even started filming because I know with the strikes, a lot of those things
They
got
was
pushed around. But
terrifyingly they pushed through, they did film, but they filmed like without some of the writers, I think, to be
Oh,
honest. So
shh.
we'll
who
see
needs
what
that?
happens.
Who
Yeah.
needs that, right?
My
Did you
facts
see it?
may be slightly
Remember,
not
like,
great, but it's true. Yeah.
if anyone caught the Golden Globes, there actually was a slightly funny bit where, like, there was an awards introduction where they tried to award. They did it. They did a bit where two of the presenters said, "This is what happens when you don't have writers helping us with the awards or something like that," and they just did it in the most deadpanned, awful presentation. Like these
I wish I'd
award
seen
show things. I've never watched the Golden Globes before, but it wasn't that funny. But they tried to like mock what it was like to not have writers in their awards presentation, and
Good.
Never mind. Never mind. Anyways,
I wish I'd
yeah.
seen. I missed the Gold Globes. I wish I'd seen them. Yeah.
So that's the Lord of the Rings. I think it's called the War of the Rohirrim. I don't
Yes,
know if I'm
indeed.
trying.
The Rohirrim. Yes, indeed.
Roarahim.
Rohirrim.
Rohirrim?
Okay,
Rohirrim?
thank you, because I
Rohirrim?
looked.
Sam's probably right.
I think it's the Rohirrim, but I double
And
fact check
Sam's
that
probably
out.
right.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
description says it's the untold story behind Helm's Deep, hundreds of years before the fateful war,
Mhm.
telling the life and blood-soaked times of its founder, Helm Hammerhand, the king of Rohan. All right,
Helm
very,
Hammerhand. Sorry.
very cool. All right, if my math is right, Ellie, you have one more on your
Yeah.
list.
My last one is Joker too,
Mm.
obviously, because I love Joaquin and I loved the first Joker. But there's so much emotion in that movie, and I hope that they can carry the story back to continue to tell his story of where it ended and why Joker is who he is. So I'm looking forward to what happens next, because Joker 1 was, I was over the moon with the movie, and I'm so glad that he won the Oscar for his performance, because he just, I don't think he'll ever top, what's his name there for me, Keith, what's it,
Heath
is it
Ledger.
Keith Ledger's performance.
Mm.
I think he's always going to be my number one Joker, but Joaquin is definitely my second one. But
Mhm.
I look forward to that movie and seeing Lady Gaga and see what she does with Harley Quinn. We'll see how
Yeah.
Mm.
she does,
Nice.
because Lady Gaga being
Yeah.
so, you know who she is, I think she's gonna bring the character to life in a different way that other Harley Quinns done it. I have high
Mm.
expectations for her, so in this movie, hopefully.
Do you think she'll be as good though as Keith Richardson in Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End? So I couldn't even. I'm sorry. I couldn't even. I was gonna try to like sell that joke, but I'm like, no. Let's just move on. Here.
No, I don't think so,
Yeah,
Sam.
I
I
know. Yeah.
think not.
Whoa.
Well,
I, I
I,
I I
I give you
cratered that one. Just
I give you a
yeah.
credit just for trying, though.
All in the name of comedy.
There you go.
So that's Joker. I think the full title is Joker Folie à Deux, and that's October 4th. It's going to be a musical. That's
Yes.
also worth noting. So I am very curious about that. It's funny. I didn't put this on my list or my honorable mentions. I think it's just because my list is so packed. I liked the Batman, not the Batman, Joker a lot. I'm getting these two franchises mixed up, Joker a lot, but yeah, I just couldn't fit it on anywhere. But yeah, good pick for sure.
Yeah. I think Lady Gaga is a great actress too. I'm with you, Ellie.
Yeah.
I'll see
Yeah,
what she does.
she's singer, acting, great
It could be
artist.
amazing.
Great
Yeah.
artist.
Um,
Yeah.
all right, I have one more on mine. Then I say, what haven't I mentioned? That was mentioned. That was mentioned. All right, so here's my last one, and I'm trying to figure out if I want to switch it out, but I'm not. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. No, I'm going to go with this one. So it is going to be a movie called Alto Nights, and this comes out November 15th. Now, this movie is directed by Barry Levinson and is written by Nick Pileggi. Pileggi? Anyway, so this is a
Wow.
gangster film starring Robert De Niro. And he's done a
Cool.
lot of these, but I just love
Never
the
been done
fact
before.
that it's Barry Levinson and Nick Pileggi that are behind this. And of course, Italian American crime bosses Vito Genovese and Frank Costello run their respective families during the 20th century. Blah 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 blah. Anyways, Robert De Niro, but working with Barry Levinson, I eat the stuff up. So I'm just thinking like if I want to see this, I just want to see this. This comes out November 15th. I'm there. I'm totally there. It's more of the same. I know. This is why I was thinking like, do I need this? But yes, I do. Totally need to see this.
So overrated.
I'm
More
sorry.
movies.
I'll see
It's
it. No,
I
I want
love
to see it. Yeah.
I
I'm
love
a
this stuff.
sucker for it. Yeah.
Again, I realize that this I just love the team that's behind doing this.
I just want to
That's
see him yell at someone and be like, "Get it done today, 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 today."
there we go. So Sam, I think you have a couple left because
I have one left actually.
maybe okay. What is the one you got left? Then I have to kind of recap.
The
Missed
one I
this
have
one, yeah.
left is Inside Out 2. I
Okay.
think that I really like the first one,
Hmm.
and this could revitalize Pixar's, like, did not have a particularly stellar 2023. I feel like this could just be back to form and maybe a bigger box office hit. And I like the story of the first one, good memories of watching that film, and so I would see this one. Like, I wouldn't rush out to the theater, but if it gets positive reviews, I will go see it.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah,
Yeah,
I will be
looks
seeing
good.
this one as well. Yeah. All right. There you have it. Now, just because I missed one on your list, Sam, because you may have said that was also on my list, I didn't catch it. Let's just recap our list, each of us, one time. Sam, go through yours.
Like, from the first, from 1 through 10.
Yeah,
So
any order here. The
I'll
ones
just
that you
do
mentioned.
I'll just do 1 through. So my top 10 was Furiosa, Dune Part 2, Deadpool 3, Civil War, Inside Out 2, A Quiet Place Day 1, sorry, Twisters, Alien Romulus, Beetlejuice 2, and I switched my number 10 to Gladiator 2.
Oh, that's what I missed. Gladiator 2.
Yeah, it was originally Joker Part 2.
Okay.
Mm.
B, give me a recap of yours, please.
You got it. Beetlejuice 2, Bob Marley One Love, The Book of Clarence, Drive Away Dolls, Gladiator 2, The Bike Riders, Dune Part 2, Mickey 17, Furiosa, and of course, The Lord of the Rings.
Woo!
And Ellie,
Can't wait.
please recap your 10.
Civil War, Bob Marley, Joker 2, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Dune, Deadpool 3, Beetlejuice 2, The Book of Clarence, Ballerina, and the Bike Riders.
All right. And mine was Civil
Great
War,
list.
Drive Away Dolls, Alien Romulus, Furiosa, Dune Part 2, Bike Riders, Deadpool 3, Mickey 17, Horizon Part 1 and 2, which I know is a cheat because it's two movies, but that's okay, and Alto Knights. All
I'm
right.
surprised that none of you included the remake of Mickey Blue Eyes with Hugh Grant. That's going to be a huge hit this August. It's going to be huge.
I'd like to ask anybody here have any honorable mentions they just want to mention, they want to bring up?
I would like to mention, what's it called? Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Is that the name? Or
Yeah.
Frozen?
Yeah.
I I missed Afterlife in the theater. I wasn't like so sure. Then I saw it on a plane and like thoroughly enjoyed it. Not great, but like I would be on board to see this movie. If it's done well, it could be fun. So I'm curious about it. That's as
Okay.
far as it
Yeah.
goes. Yeah.
B, do you have any honorable mentions?
Yeah, and I'm with Sam. I think I said before we started, I think that movie looks expensive. So I think at the very least it's gonna be
Yeah.
fun to look
It
at
looks
and fun to
flashy and
watch.
snowy, and like the Ghostbusters
Yeah.
are fighting in the snow, and you're like, cool, man.
Popcorn flick, man. Sometimes that's
Yeah.
enough.
Loud
100%.
sound design too. You know, it's going to be like ghosts, like comedy. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, comedy. One of my honorable mentions, and I have a few, but the sort of one of mine that's in line with that is Argyle. That's coming out soon.
Oh,
I just think it looks kind of fun. I don't think it's going to break any ground or anything. I think it'll be good. And that's enough for me. But I
I want to
am
see
re-
Argyle. Yeah, that I considered putting that on
yeah,
my list because it looks like just ridiculous. Like I
cheesy
was
fun.
sold on the trailer. Yeah, even the
Matthew.
stupid shot of like the cat like
So
jumping in.
dumb.
That's the kind of stuff that I usually hate. And for this, I
W-
was like, ah, it's appropriate and it's kind of funny.
Matthew Vaughn
Yep.
movies are usually a good time, so I
Yeah,
agree.
that's kind of
Yeah.
how I felt about it. Bringing in Mark Wahlberg, Arthur the
Mhm.
King. That looks
Mhm.
good because there's a dog in it. I will watch that. It's my
Arthur the
honorable
King. Yo,
mention.
it's Arthur the King. Come see it.
Arthur the King, kid. But the ones that almost really made the list for me were The Taste of Things. I'm excited for that. I think that comes out towards the summer. It's the same director as The Scent of Green Papayas. It's got Juliette Binoche in it. I think it's going to be just really lovely and touching.
Nice.
And also lovely and touching, Eggers' Nosferatu should be great. Looking forward
Yes.
to that.
Ooh, interesting. Yeah.
That was
Yep.
definitely that was one of my honorable mentions as well.
Yeah.
which I'm not always on board with Robert Eggers, but I'm on board for whatever I am and I'm not. But I'm
I'm
always
on
so
board.
curious because I loved The Northman but I love The Witch, but The Lighthouse, I was like, "What?"
I love The
Yes, I
Lighthouse,
was
but it was
on board with
cooler
you,
on The
Nathan.
Northman.
What?
I had it transposed. I loved The Lighthouse, but I was like a little cooler on The Northman, but it does deserve a rewatch for me. I was tired when I watched it. So.
I mean, I love the witch and or the Vivitch as it looks the way that,
Oh God.
but I agree with you, Nathan, on the lighthouse. Like I appreciated it. It was a cinematic
Yeah.
film, but to me, it just was so gonzo that I like detached a little bit towards the end. I was just like, okay, what the hell? Like, you know,
Is
It was
this the
it
crowd
it
that loves Beau is Afraid? Come on. So this is a
yeah. It was one of the few times where I was seeing a movie at the theater where I was kind of wishing I was watching it at home because I needed to hit pause when I was watching The Lighthouse. I'm like, I need a break. I need to stop. I need to stop. I need to get a drink. I need to like walk around the house or something. Like I this is too much.
it's
that's not very often, but it was like this is very art house, and I needed to breathe. I don't know. I
to
felt
quote.
very. It might have been the 4:3 image of it, and I felt like, oh my, like I really was having like a panic attack in that movie or something.
Oh.
like like the walls are
What's
closing in on me.
it's
Might have been
claustrophobic,
might have
yeah.
been that foghorn that just kept going over and over. I'm like,
Yeah.
I was having a personal problem. I don't know.
It is a
Um,
claustrophobic location, like
yeah,
inside a lighthouse, stranded on a like. I can totally see that.
Yeah.
Like it's that movie is close. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Nosferatu looks great. Great
yeah,
cast. It's
yeah.
cool.
I'm down for whatever he's gonna try because I love the fact that he's one of those art house directors that it's doing whatever seems to be whatever he wants to do. So I love that.
Mhm.
Anything else, B, or shall we move
No,
on?
that's
All right,
enough.
great. Ellie, anything else on your honorable mention list?
Yeah, so I want to see a documentary called Frida. It's gonna be playing in Amazon Prime, and I definitely want to do the Arthur the King, the dog with Mark Wahlberg. Looks great, that movie. Just I think it's based on a true story too. So
I think it is.
I
Yeah.
am looking forward to seeing it. I probably won't go see it in
Yeah.
the theaters, but I do want to see it. And then The Fall Guy with Ryan Gosling.
Hmm.
I think that's best based off
Mm.
a television show back. Was it the 80s or the 70s? Something like that.
Yeah, 80s, late 70s. I don't know exactly. I
Yeah,
used to
The Fall
watch it
Guy.
when I was a
Yeah,
kid.
I know.
Yeah.
I remember it too. So I want to see what Ryan is gonna do because Ryan is awesome. so, so those are my three movies that I wanna didn't make my list, but would have made my list if I didn't have
Great.
others. Yeah.
Great. I have a couple here, but most of them have already come up already. Gladiator 2, Beetlejuice 2, Quiet Place, Day 1 of all we've already mentioned. But the two that I haven't mentioned yet, one of them is coming directly to Netflix on March 1st, and that's called Spaceman. And this is directed by, I think, Renk. And this stars Adam Sandler, Carey Mulligan, and Paul Dano. And I love it when Adam Sandler goes serious. And this is a science fiction film. I don't know. All I know is that he's sent to space to collect something from it on another planet. But it's a drama science fiction film starring Adam Sandler. There is a trailer that is out there. I haven't really watched much of it. I kind of want to be surprised by this film, but I'm really really curious about this movie. I really think Adam Sandler is an amazing actor when he puts himself in the right role. So the buzz around this movie, from what I've read, is that a this is going to catapult him into a whole nother stratosphere of roles that he is going to be trying to get into. I was reading that he is trying to get away from more comedy. He's made millions and millions of dollars. He is really wants to be considered more of a serious actor, and this
Mhm.
is his attempt to get more into that. So this is a movie that I am really, really intrigued by. Johan
What
Rank,
was the name of it again? Sorry, I was really curious.
Spaceman. It comes out March 1st. I
Nice.
don't know much about Johan Rank, but I do know that he directed 5 episodes of HBO's Chernobyl, which was an incredible TV show series, limited series. So yeah, there's a lot of things behind this movie that I think has going for it. So I'm really curious.
Mm.
The other thing, my other common mention is a movie called Wolves, I should say. This comes out September 20th. It's an Apple original film. It's from John Watts, who is the director of a lot of the recent Spider-Man movies. And it stars George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Amy Ryan, and Austin Abrams. All I know is that the brief synopsis, because very few details about it, is it follows 2 lone wolf fixers assigned to the same job. And I just, George Clooney, Brad Pitt working together, starring in a movie. So that has me really intrigued. And yeah. So yeah, those are my honorable mentions. I just want to mention a few other notable releases coming out, and anybody can just kind of say something if you're interested in it or not, or just give a thumbs up, thumbs down, like yes, no, whatever.
It'd just be like British Parliament, like make
Yes,
sounds
here we
like
go.
oh,
These are movies that are coming out. I'm just gonna mention a few of them, and you can just say no way, yes. We got a Sesame Street movie coming out. It's
What?
Sesame Street, directed by Jonathan Crisell. Big Bird and his Sesame Street friends are mysteriously expelled from their neighborhood, finding themselves in Manhattan. They team up with a plucky history show host, Sally Hawthorne, played by Anne Hathaway, who's on a quest to save her show and prove that Sesame Street actually exists.
Is this in any way related to Follow That Bird?
I knew somebody was going to say that.
This is going to make things so much worse in Times Square than they already are.
So, yes, we have a live action Sesame Street movie coming out starring Big Bird. Yes. Sam, you might be excited by this. Did you know that there is a remake of the 1989 Patrick Swayze classic Roadhouse coming out?
Yes,
starring
with
Jake Gyllenhaal?
Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah, very excited about that. Yeah.
It's directed by Doug Liman.
What? I did not know that. That's awesome.
It's coming to Prime Video March 21st.
That
Any
is,
thoughts?
I wish it got I honestly wish it got a theatrical release, but I will definitely see it, and
I'm
I hope
watching it
it's
too.
like amped. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm watching
I
it too.
loved Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Edge of Tomorrow is great.
Yeah.
There is a movie called Abigail coming out April 19th. This is a horror film from Matt Bettinelli, Open, and Tyler Gillett, who have shepherded the last 2 Scream films. So, not everybody here is a Scream fan, but these 2 also did what I thought was one of the best horror movies, also thriller movies, called Ready or Not. So I love it when they're kind of working with original IP, and this is another one of those. So I am looking forward to this one, sort of, but I don't know if anyone else has heard of this or looking forward to it, called
Not
Abigail.
even on my radar,
I
but I'll
didn't
check it
know
out.
about it. No, sounds
Mhm.
intriguing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna back to Black is the Amy Winehouse biopic coming out May 10th. Just want to mention that. That's something to, I don't know if any Amy Winehouse fans here. I'm a little cold on this because I think the documentary Amy was one of the most perfect documentaries that has been out in the last 5-6 years, and I don't know if I need another Amy Winehouse story movie, but we'll see. Watchers, directed by Ishana Night Shyamalan. Yes, his daughter is making a movie, a feature. Follows Mina, a 28-year-old artist who gets stranded in an expansive, untouched forest in Western Ireland. So this is, sounds like she's making her own kind of like weird thriller type of movie. And want to throw that out there. Anyone heard of this film?
I haven't heard of
No,
it,
but
but
I-
it sounds intriguing now. I'm kind of interested.
Yep.
I'll go see it.
Bad Boys 4 is coming out June 14th.
I probably won't go see it.
No.
Nope.
I'll be there.
No.
I'm going.
No.
I'll be there.
No.
Hey, how about Mufasa the Lion King? It's from Barry Jenkins.
No.
Yeah.
No.
We'll
Yeah,
see. Yeah.
yeah, okay.
I yeah.
Is
We're
it a
done with
prequel or
2020.
how? No, it can't be a sequel
Prequel.
because
It's
Mufasa dies. Yeah,
Is
that'd be
it a
funny.
what?
sequel?
What?
That'd be funny if it was a sequel and it was just like Mufasa's carcass and it was like 2 hours of like a crow eating it or something like
He
that.
goes back to, he goes back to what is it, that shadow graveyard or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, the
That's in the
elephant
original.
graveyard. Yeah.
Yes.
There is this
Funny.
is I think this is a working title, but it's called Project Artemis, and it's directed by Greg Berlanti. It's a story of the space race from the 1960s, starring Scarlett Johansson, Channing Tatum, Woody Harrelson, and Ray Romano. Summer blockbuster,
Mm.
style space race epic.
Random comment, really quick. I just before I forgot, I will say I did like Bad Boys 3, or Bad Boys for Life, but someone made a really funny comment that said they titled the third one Bad Boys for Life. Now here comes the fourth one. That one should have been titled Bad Boys
I
for Life
know.
because now it's just Bad Boys 4. Anyway,
They should have run with like
I'm,
the
I'm
Fast
sure
and
it's a
Furious
working.
titling.
I'm sure
yeah,
it's a working title. I'm sure it's a working
yeah.
title. Yeah.
I'm not.
July 12th, we get Venom 3.
There's already a third one. We're done.
Yeah.
I'm so tired.
Okay. It
I
just
might see it. I mean, I like Tom Hardy, but we'll see. Yeah.
and in the same year, we've got Ishana Night Shyamalan coming out with her first feature. We have Trap, which is M. Night Shyamalan's next feature on
Mm.
August 2nd.
Interesting.
That's awesome.
I know nothing about it. There aren't any details about it.
I hope it's as good as Knock at the Cabin. That was incredible. Yeah.
I
We
liked
have
when they went to the beach and got old. I
I
liked
like
that.
I actually liked Old, yeah.
Mm.
We have on September 13th Transformers 1
That
origin
is a
story.
I am so tired of. If you want to talk about a franchise that I've checked out on, it's Transform. Even though there's some good ones, I don't like. I don't mean to throw it under the bus. I'm just completely disconnected.
But Sam, this is the origin story set on Cybertron.
Well, that changes my mind. Transformers.
On September 27th, we have Saw 11, which seems nuts because it has a release date, but hasn't even started filming yet. And nor does it even have a director yet. So I don't even know how it has has a date for release, which
I
is
just
like,
feel like an empty
it,
office set up with like a conference table for like when the writers do get here, there'll be coffee waiting.
it
Like,
just shows that they can like shoot this, write it, shoot it, and edit it in like a week. It's crazy.
Maybe it's gonna be so live.
They
Maybe
just
that's
do
what
it
it
live.
is.
We
It's gonna
murder
be a
you
real.
and right there.
Yep. Yep.
I've only got like 2 or 3 more left here. Smile 2 comes out October 18th. Now, actually, I thought Smile was one of the most effective horror films of, I think, last year, 2022.
That's really
So,
scary film for me.
Yeah,
yeah.
me too, Ellie. I thought it was great.
Yeah,
So I don't know if I'm gonna run out to the theater to see this,
I
but
wouldn't.
I'm kind of happy there is a follow up to that movie.
Yeah.
I have 2 more to mention. Red One on November 15th is an action adventure comedy from Jake Kasdan. He directed the Jumanji films. This is stars Dwayne Johnson, Chris Evans, and Nick Kroll. No other details about it,
Mm.
but Dwayne
Nope.
Johnson opening action movie on November 15th with Chris
interesting.
Evans. So, yep.
Mm.
And the last thing I'm going to mention on December 13th, The Karate Kid, directed by John Entwistle, stars Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan.
Mm.
Could be interesting. I like Cobra Kai, so we'll see
Yep.
what
Yeah.
happens here.
So just throwing those out there as other big notable releases for 2024.
Kung Fu Panda will also have Jackie Chan. So I
Kung
think
Fu
I might
Panda.
just see
So
that.
that's
Yeah.
March 8th. You're our
Mhm.
Kung Fu fan here, so
I
you'll
am.
be
It's Kung Fu
yeah,
Fanuary, baby.
yeah. All right. So I have a couple questions to ask each of you. This is very important. The most important part of the whole show. What at the end of the year? It is December 31st, 2024. You've seen all of these movies and more. What is going to be your favorite film of 2024? Sam?
I cannot possibly answer that because what always
No, that's the
happens
whole
is,
point. Is
yeah,
to answer that.
well, it's going to be wrong because Paul Thomas Anderson might have a movie with DiCaprio out by December, and I don't know if that's this year or next year, but like in the fall, all these amazing movies come out of the woodwork that
I
Yep,
aren't on
know.
the
I mean,
list.
I
It
mean, I
always
mean,
true.
happens. If I
Sundance
had to,
starts in a few weeks, and all those movies are going to be out sometime. We don't know. I know. I realize that.
I will, but if I had to pick one, because it truly, oh god, man, it truly is doesn't matter. So I'm gonna pick. I'll pick
This does
Twister.
matter. There are
I'll pick
stakes.
there's stakes. All right, I'll pick. I don't flapperjack and no man. I'll say Furiosa.
Hmm.
It's gonna be good.
B, what's going to be your favorite movie of 2024?
Lord of the Rings, and it won't even be close. I'm gonna
Woo!
have to wait
That's what
all
I
year.
should have thought of that.
Well,
Ellie,
I don't know.
what's going to be your
I'm
favorite movie of 2024?
Joker too.
mm,
Joker 2.
Mm.
And I'm going with Sam. My favorite movie of 2024 is going to be Furiosa, if I had to pick something. And because we're all have crystal balls, we are, we are going to also pick what is going to be the box office winner of 2024.
Hmm.
This is very important because all the studios want to know this as well.
Difficult. Might be Joker 2 might be way up there.
We're talking just domestic too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joker 2 will be big, I believe.
mm,
That's what I
But
picked.
there's so many
that's
more,
your
but
pick.
like it's like impossible.
Mm.
What do you have a pick?
Like last year, I would have not. I mean, I would have thought it would have done well, but like I had no idea Barbie would be like $1 billion massive success. I thought it would be successful, but I didn't realize it like went through the stratosphere. You know what I mean? Like it's so unpredictable.
I'm with you, Sam. This is not easy peasy lemon squeezy. It is
Yeah.
difficult, difficult, lemon difficult. But I went. So I'm kind of tied between two. I'm not really sure, but like the one that's eking it out is Dune Part 2. I think that's going to be a money maker. But I could also see other stuff making a lot of money. Like
I think Dune Part. Yeah,
Furiosa is the one that's like really close to me, but Dune Part 2 I think is going to make a ton of money.
I feel like Dune Part 2 will do like really 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 well. It's just hard to think of
Mm.
like number one domestic movie of the year. I mean, it could. You never know. It could be, but I have no idea.
It's got a lot of buzz.
It does, and it's like
I
epic
don't
in
know.
scale.
Adult. It's an R-rated science fiction movie, winning box office of the year.
No,
Mm.
I don't see it. I don't see June. I
Is
look
it
at the
is it
poster.
R rated?
What?
I thought it
Oh.
was PG-13.
Is it PG-13?
I thought it was. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I'll look.
It's the movie that I've heard the most about coming up.
I mean, the first movie did not make that much money, but again, it also didn't have the
But that
best
was a
release.
weird release.
It was a
And this
very
has
It
weird
been
is. Yeah,
release.
like a
it's
super
PG-13.
antici-
It is
and this has been a
PG-13. Correct.
super anticipated release, like
It's a
super
it's a
anticipated.
2 hour and 46 minute
Well,
film.
that doesn't matter. Look at Barbie and Oppenheimer. And this has
Oppenheimer
Florence
was a
Pugh,
3 hour
Timothée
movie. Yeah,
Chalamet,
yeah.
Zendaya. I mean, I think it could be up
Oppenheimer
there.
made $1 billion being a 3 hour movie.
About a scientist.
I see a lot of teenagers going to the movies to see Zendaya and Timothy.
Yeah, could
And
be.
Zendaya is going to be in this one a lot more than the first one.
Yeah,
I'm very. I might be totally off on this though. We'll find out next year.
I'm
No,
mostly.
I think either way, Dune 2, I think it's going to do really really well. The only reason I mentioned Joker 2 is because the first one was so
Mm,
big. It came out in the
that was a
fall, but that
huge hit.
might capture that same audience again. You know, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Deadpool 3 could be big box office too. It's just like it's hard to predict the highest box office when we don't have the full list.
Well, you could say it's gonna be between those three: Joker, Dune, and what's his name?
Yeah.
Deadpool.
I think there's a fourth movie that's in the mix. that you're not talking about?
Beetlejuice?
Ghostbusters?
I think Inside Out. Inside Out 2.
Inside Out 2, yeah, that'll do well.
Mm,
That is the family friendly movie.
Maybe.
All right. Anyone else have a pick?
I'm gonna go with Joker.
Pick something. All right.
Joker.
Joker 2. Folie la deux.
It's like staring into a fog and knowing that I'm going to be wrong, but this is not going to be right. But
do you sometimes stare at fogs and think you'll be right?
Yes, when a vision comes forth and a glowing light from the Lady Galadriel, of course. But I'm looking for the big.
Say Twisters. Just say Twisters and be done with it.
Say it with your chest, Sam.
I'll just say. You know what? I'm gonna say Furiosa.
That's not. I don't think that's a bad pick. All right. There you have it.
Woo!
We did it.
All right. Well, this was a lot of fun. All right. That was our 2024 movie forecast.
This was not only fun, this was Weston Media level fun.
All right. So there you have it. That, I believe, concludes our show this week. And next week, we are going to begin our next series of shows, reviews, circling our. How do we describe the movies that we're going to be reviewing? You know, I didn't really define these as much. Winter survival films. Is that what we said we're going to call them? Or
yeah, I like that. Winter survival films.
Winter survival films. Nor have we actually picked the order of these yet. We'll do that off air afterwards. But folks, stay tuned for that. We're going to start a series of films, winter survival films. This is going to be a lot of fun. We will announce those movies coming up soon. And this is going to be a lot of fun. So, all right.
Wayne's World. Party time. Excellent. Wayne's World.
That concludes our show for this week. We sincerely appreciate you tuning in. As a final reminder, if you're enjoying what you hear, please consider leaving a rating and review. Your support truly brightens our day. The ideal platforms are Apple Podcasts or iTunes, or whichever platform you use to access our show. Stay connected with us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, or TikTok at Back to the Frame Rate, or on Twitter at Back Frame Rate. And of course, the most effective way to show your love is by sharing our episodes on your social media platforms. Your support means the world to us. Back to the Frame Rate is a proud member of the Weston Media Podcast Network.
Lastly, I would say really quickly, Will Ferrell as that obnoxious talk show host, and he goes, "What's your favorite planet? Mine's the sun." Sorry.
Thank you, Sam.
Yeah, it's 2024. Woo!
That's it. The show is over. Goodbye.
I want you to know it's over.
Well, bye.